Heavy.com, I'm Maggie Krol standing alongside Brian Stann, who will be facing Michael Bisping this Saturday at UFC 152. And is it true that 2 days after it will be your birthday?
It will be. I'll be turned 32, so hopefully I give myself a nice little birthday present.
Well, I'm wishing you an early happy birthday in case I don't see you.
Thank you very much.
Now let's talk about this big fight that you have coming up. Do you feel as though you're in your prime right now? You said that when you're going into this, you're going to go into it all the way, and you want to show your kids, your family, that you can be a champion one day.
You know, I think I am in my prime. I'm definitely in my athletic prime right now, and this is definitely the best Brian Stann that's ever walked in the octagon. So, I have a lot of respect for Mike and his skill set, and because of that respect, I trained accordingly. This has been the best training camp, the most detailed training camp I've ever had. I've had the best sparring partners, and just everything went really, really well, which I'm grateful for. And so I fully expect to put on my best performance ever in the octagon.
Speaking of your training camp, you switched things up a little bit. You're training back at home in Atlanta. How has that been for you? Do you feel more prepared now that you've had individual time with your teammates to focus on things that you need to improve on?
You know, I do. And training in Atlanta was kind of born out of a tragedy in my family, but it really was some blessings in disguise. My kids are getting older. It's nice to be able to go home to your family after you're working every day instead of being halfway across the country. But when I'm at my gym, there's a lot of focus on me. During my training camp, there's about 10 fighters that train with us, and obviously we all don't have fights at the same time. So this training camp was really a lot focused on me. I had great sparring partners to mimic what Mike does, and then just people constantly watching me, improving every area of my game. So I'm really grateful for that. I was really worried for the Sakara fight, doing my training camp at home, how that would turn out. And, I turned in one of the best performances of my career, and I expect to do that on Saturday as well.
Now, Michael Bisping says he is just as talented as you all around. He even says he's a better fighter. And you have knockout power. Do you feel as though he's going to want to try to stand with you?
I don't, but he can't avoid it. Obviously, the fight starts in the feet. So, Mike's a proud guy, and he's very good at everything. So he'll come out and strike with me. But one of the things he does very well is he mixes it up, and he will shoot. He's going to try and take this fight to the ground. I think he really feels like he has a big advantage there. And it's up to me to show the world my skill set there. The Chael Sonnen fight, I wasn't able to do that. Chael really got on a roll, and he fought really well against me, and I fought poorly. So I'm very prepared for that aspect of the game against Mike, and I think I'll do very well there.
So you've been immersing yourself with wrestling in your training camp.
I have. I've been training wrestling hard really for the last, year and a half. But when you're fighting wrestlers the caliber that I've fought, it takes a lot longer than that. But, doing it every day, and Raymond Jordan, who's an amazing All-American wrestler and, world team wrestler, him moving in with me and now moving to Atlanta and training with me every single day has really just made a huge difference. To have someone like that shooting on you and grappling with you every single day, it gives you a great feel. And I feel like my wrestling has definitely gotten a lot better than it was a year ago.
And now the big question, title contention, that's what's on everybody's mind. Michael Bisping has been very vocal. That's what he wants next. Is that the same for you, or do you see maybe a Chris Weidman or a Tim Boesch next?
I think that you can't ignore those two guys. I think the winner of that fight is definitely going to be deserving of a title shot as well. Chris Weidman's win over Mark Munoz was a huge win. Mark's an amazing fighter, amazing guy. So I'm not going to be calling anybody out. Don't tell me, show me is my attitude. I'm going to go out there, show the world what I can do, win this fight, and then I'll let the cards fall where they may. I would love to get a shot at Anderson Silva before he retires or before, he decides to ride off in the sunset. He's the greatest fighter of all time. You don't go knocking on his door. You perform, and then the UFC tells you when you're ready and you're worthy.